Dear all, today we'll discuss what separates the rich and the poor in society. People who don't have as much money frequently ask about the gap between the rich and the poor. Many factors could significantly change your life, even though the answer to this question is not apparent. The first characteristic that sets the wealthy apart from the poor is their outlook on life. While the impoverished frequently have a more pessimistic view of things, the rich constantly look for methods to improve their circumstances. Additionally, those who are wealthy typically exhibit greater degrees of self-control and discipline. While the impoverished frequently put off their aspirations, they can act on them. The rich are also more likely to have well-organized thought processes, which aids them in coming to wiser financial decisions. Success in life depends on various variables, many of which are beyond our control. For instance, I will never play in the NFL because I am only 5 feet tall and lack even the slightest aptitude for football. Fortunately, earning money and being wealthy are much more dependent on the choices we make than it is on the parents we have. Therefore, I want to discuss what I believe to be one of the main distinctions between the wealthy and the poor, and how you might benefit financially from this distinction. If you're discovering the channel, click the subscribe button below for more life-altering content. As I've gotten older and spoken to more individuals, I've found that most people need a better understanding of the course that their financial lives are following. Simple activities like avoiding credit card debt or learning to make and adhere to a budget are challenging for many people. Now, if you're on the more financially astute end of the spectrum, you find it absurd that anyone could even have trouble with these corrective financial activities. After that, I hope that everyone reaches a point when their financial situation is no longer a burden or a source of pride. Most people require assistance determining where to begin when attempting to create their ideal lifestyle. There are 3 categories of people regarding money, even those with obligations in order, and those who can reliably save money each month. They constantly fight over money and will always have financial problems. Then some have mastered the fundamentals of money management and made consistent progress, and steadily and consistently improve their economic condition through prudent debt management and saving. Finally, some excel at building wealth because they know how various processes operate and employ tactics that enable them to amass as much cash as possible. Although I'm sure most of us would love to be a proud part of that third group, most of us won't be able to since we won't be deployed. One component is crucial for the wealth-building pilot to produce life-changing financial improvement. You may be employing the exact opposite method of what is necessary to amass outstanding levels of wealth right now. Where could you be making a mistake? How can you alter your behavior to start moving towards your goals? Rich, stay with me, and I'll explain everything to you. Based on the many years I've spent learning about wealth building, I've seen that everyone who makes my annual salary in a week does one thing well. No, it's not because they develop innovative products or carry out sophisticated money fraud. A few of them do. But every time I research financially successful people, I find they all share the same trait. They are all experts at allocating money. I know I'm not the first to tell you that, and I won't be the last. I have discovered that people who take the adage to heart and put everything they have into it will prosper financially quickly and to the most fantastic degrees. The best illustration of this is Elon Musk. Elon Musk doesn't need an introduction, but if you've been in a coma for 33 years, let me briefly describe who he is. Multi-billion-dollar companies, including Tesla, PayPal, and SpaceX, were founded by Elon Musk. He has also been ranked among the wealthiest people on the planet. Simply put, this man is a financial wizard. So how did he achieve this pinnacle of monetary success? Without going into all the specifics, he remarked, he successfully deployed his capital to turn big sums of money into incredible sums throughout his career. For instance, Elon is renowned for saying, "My proceeds from the PayPal acquisition were $200 million. He invested $100 million in SpaceX, $80 million in Tesla, and $20 million in Solar City. Today, it is clear that Musk's gamble paid off because all of these businesses are now valued at billions of dollars. This highlights that, in many instances, it costs money to make money. Let's be honest, no matter how intelligent and creative he is, Elon Musk could never have launched these three firms that are changing the world by bootstrapping it and depositing his millions of cash in the bank. In other words, its investment served as the trigger for the first future. The spotlight is now on the listener. I am familiar with people not necessarily climbing the Forbes list of the wealthiest people. I'm sure it's no surprise that many people struggle with money. The unfortunate truth is that having money is essential for leading a happy life. However, their financial situation limits many people's hopes, aspirations, and quality of life. Only some people are dealt the same cards in life, and many start far ahead of others in the quest for financial success. Whether you begin from the beginning or kilometers in advance, if we are ever to achieve financial freedom, we must all cross that finish line. Unfortunately, many people are running marathons with some men's blocks on their feet because they need to grasp one of the most crucial strategies you must utilize to observe increases in your wealth over time, namely the efficient use of capital that we just discussed. But, unfortunately, there are three reasons the typical person doesn't use this crucial wealth-generating strategy. The first claimed they didn't earn enough money to save because 20 to 37 million Americans lived in poverty or less. That represents 10% of the population who make just enough money to get by each month. These folks don't even have the option of using money to advance themselves. Instead, they're more likely to be concerned with paying their bills on time than with becoming as wealthy as Elon Musk. And some earn a nice living. Invest it all. We all know a few people who abuse their credit cards to the point where they are warranted. If this terrible behavior is allowed to continue, having the funds necessary to earn additional money will be tough. Some make a good living and use sound financial management techniques. These are those who see their savings grow each year and are making progress on their path to financial security. They are, nonetheless, accumulating riches. Fish as much as you can. Most likely not. Storing money in the bank is one of the biggest blunders people with disposable income make. Things now could get worse. You can fall into those individuals who don't even make enough money to save or spend as much. As a result, your bank account always seems to stay the same. If you fall into this third category, you have a good chance of exponentially increasing your fortune. But, of course, it would help if you used your capital more effectively. Sadly, most people don't, and there are a few factors behind this. First, most individuals have only a basic understanding of finance, and the only financial advice I probably ever had was to save as much as possible. Again, it's not the worst advice. Still, it's far from the best when taken in isolation because so many people save money yearly, believing they are making progress, or their bank accounts are improving without realizing it. They are genuinely losing money every day as a result of inflation. The second reason people don't use their money to accelerate their path to wealth is that they need to learn how to do it. As I previously stated, most people have a limited understanding of finance, and for many, knowing how to use money to make money is well outside their expertise. However, you should try it if you think education is pricey, as the adage goes, and it would help if you didn't let your ignorance stand in the way of achieving all of your most ambitious financial objectives. So let me explain how judiciously investing your money, something I think everybody can do, might change your life. Let's compare saving and investing using a straightforward example. Consider that you want to retire in 50 years and have two choices yearly. $20,000 can be invested or saved. But on the other hand, they'll end up with $500,000 for decades if they've only been told to save money or are too afraid to invest it. Let's contrast $500,000 with the potential returns from ordinary investing. The best thing is that obtaining the results of our investor example is entirely achievable for the average index fund investment with adequate money. Assuming a 7% rate of return, the investor would end up with $2.8 million, more than 5 times what the saver ends up with. Consistency and endurance, a wealthy lifestyle, is well within reach of the majority of people. However, some people find it frightening to separate themselves from their money. For many years, I lived a very frugal lifestyle and saved most of my income. Although this did enable me to notice an increase in my money account gradually, my fortune increased slowly. I discovered a more efficient technique to begin the deployment of cash, and I can attest directly that this genuinely altered the course of my financial life. Acquiring good, not high income, knowledge and abilities have allowed me to enhance my income over the past 5 years. The results are equally stunning. For instance, obtaining many distinctions has enabled me to earn a significant salary. Without that extensive knowledge, I would be unable to manage the reputation that those designations have bestowed upon me. It has benefited my freelance firm to invest in additional high-paying skills. It was easy to increase my income by thousands of dollars a month, but it was only feasible by investing money first to acquire the necessary skills. You may not be using your cash in the most efficient way if you are currently struggling to see significant increases in your wealth. People frequently overlook that money is merely a tool, and that tools are only helpful when put to use. Investing regularly could help you advance your talents. They are beginning A. The idea is that you should be one of many seeking employment. If your money works as hard as you are, I guarantee your financial situation will never be the same. The video has come to an end. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel for even more incredible future videos. Enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. All the best.